All right, time to get going. Let's start this. Yep, today we are playing the original Metroid 2 Return of Samus for the Game Boy. Now, if you're wondering about the coloration here, I'm using the similar coloration to what I was experiencing when I played this on the Game Boy Advance. Now, I'm playing this on the BGB emulator instead of the one that ROM used. Yeah, this will. Yeah, this is the palette that I'm sticking with for the whole game. Oh, here's a little shortcut. Let you get through that portion just a little bit faster. And one other thing about the BGB is that not only can you have a slightly richer color palette, the sounds tend to be a bit more accurate to the original. So some of the unusual beam sounds that you heard in, say, Roam Mithril's Let's Play, you're not going to hear those here. Here's another shortcut. Yeah, she starts with the long beam, she starts with the morph ball, and she starts with 30 missiles. Alright, first Alpha Metroid. Yeah, I've never actually played Samus Returns, so can't speak to the whether counter was a good or a bad mechanic. It would definitely be something that I would need to get used to, though. Make my way through the syrup or sludge or quicksand or whatever the heck you call it. So it's acid in the remake? Interesting. Or are you talking about AM2R? Anyhow, quickly use the save point. The hazardous liquid from before is fallen away. Okay, so you're talking Samus Returns. Oh. Bit of an experiment here. 1, 2, 3. Ow. 4, 5. Okay, so 5 shots. Need to be a bit more careful. bit of energy there. Hazardous liquid is back here. There we go. Okay, I'm topped off on health. Get those pancakes of doom out of the way. Shoot leeches, as they're officially called. Before I forget, I'm gonna show a little trick that I might be using later in the game. The ability to spin jump straight up. Basically, you move in one direction and then release the movement button and hit jump at the exact same time. It's not particularly useful now, but once we get the space jump, we'll be seeing that maneuver a few times. One quirk about this is that if you do that, didn't quite get that right, and hold up, you slow your fall down a bit. That's not particularly useful, but it's very interesting. That's not the only quirk of this game that I'm going to be showing. I will say this. The first time I went through this game, it took me, I want to say, about 10 hours in-game time. Now, closer to 2. One other thing, I'm going to be 100%ing this game. All 6 energy tanks, all 22 missile pods, and all of the power-ups. Alright, this way next. This room confused the heck out of me the first time I encountered it. I didn't know that there was a secret passage there. I was playing in parallel with someone else at the same time. Oops. And they found out the secret before I did. Gonna go ahead and grab the spider ball while I'm here. After seeing Ron take this route instead of my usual one, I decided this was probably better. Because having the spider ball here makes a certain portion of the, makes some of the item collecting so much easier. I really like the spider ball in terms of what a move it is. some people might say it's a bit janky, and to some extent it is. Like having to release the spider ball by pressing jump instead of up, but I get why they did it. Because, let's face it, from this position, pressing up should make you crawl along the wall, as it does here. Now let's go ahead and... got it stuck on the ledge there. Made the killing a little slower, but a lot easier. Okay, now this time, go all the way to the bottom. Oops. This time I get a beam power-up. The ice beam is slightly more powerful than the default power beam, but it often takes more shots to actually kill, because the first shot that hits, unless it hits a wall fire, will always go toward freezing the target. Now, I'm not going to bother going into the next room, because basically that's just the where the spider ball was. You can't actually get to the spider ball from there. Instead, now notice something unusual here. The wall fires are back. This is not something that you normally see in this game. Basically, if you kill it, usually if you kill an enemy in a room, it stays gone until you leave the room. But that's not true for the wall fire. Instead, if you scroll it off the screen, then it'll come back alive. Oops. Well, okay. I'm just gonna climb the wall here. Okay, did you see what I just did? That's an unusual glitch with this game. Basically, if you're taking damage and flinching, and you press jump while in the flinch animation, you'll immediately do another jump. Like that. I'm not entirely sure if that's a glitch or a feature due to a specific occurrence very late in the game. However, you might see me do that kind of jumping in midair later. Oops. Another demonstration of that. You know what? I don't think there's anything else here. Yeah. Back this way. While I'm at it, let's go ahead and use the save point. And down here. Oops. Okay, it wasn't from there. Here's another trick. Quick health refill. Crawl through here. Alright. So we're in this area. Where we get our first encounter with the brambles. More on those shortly. Now, here's an unusual thing about those brambles. They only hurt Samus if you go through them vertically. A demonstration. Yeah. Just walking around back and forth in them, no damage. But she falls through them, or tries to jump through them, she gets hurt. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Aren't there places in the game where you stand in the brambles and you take damage? Well, okay, so what caused the damage? Did the brambles somehow persist? Or was the floor below them what really caused it? I propose it was the floor. Now, there might be some odd attributes that that I haven't seen with those brambles, but most of what I've seen, that's what's going on. Yeah, the volleyball techniques works very well on Alpha Metroids. Hunter must hunt. Well said. Yeah, it's a little more difficult to use the volleyball technique there. Alright, one moment, I need to check something real quick. Okay, wanted to make sure that I hadn't missed anything. Good news is, it looks like I got all of it. Oops. Okay, so I do have everything in this area, so I can move on to the next one. Don't worry, the freezing effect does eventually wear off. So they're not stuck there forever unless they took too much damage. One, two, three, four. Okay, there's your proof that the Ice Beam does more damage. The Power Beam took 5 shots to kill a Mohique. The Ice Beam, only 4. Get rid of that Yodare. AKA the enemy with no official name because it never showed up in the instruction manual. Okay. That way's blocked off by the liquid, so time for phase 2, for the next phase. Septogs here, they're basically just obstacles. Another save point in here. There'll be one on the other side. Kind of funny that water does absolutely nothing in this game. Oh, it exists. It's just less noticeable is all. Yeah, you can tell that I've played this game quite a bit before. Because I know exactly when to get those missiles prepped and ready to go. This missile pod here is one of the easier ones to miss, or to forget about. Not the most missable one, but it's up there. Now to climb up the pipe. Excuse me. And of course, this is the room where the Chozo statue does not have the prize. Amusingly enough, the needle in a stack of needles effect is somewhat subverted by the GBA color palette, because here you can see this sphere is a different color. I wonder if there may be something special about it. I would not be surprised if it was noticeable on the Super Game Boy. In any case, I now have the Varia suit. Indeed. Basically, they couldn't just rely on palette swapping the suit, so they had to get creative with the spriting. Exactly. It's why the shoulders of doom are a thing. Now here I'm gonna deviate a bit from what Roam did. Rather than doing the Metroid hunting now, I'm gonna go ahead and proceed to the inside of this place. Get a few more power-ups. Yeah, it's typically the order that I go in when I play. I hunt for the upgrades before hunting the Metroids. If there happen to be any Metroids in the way, I go ahead and kill them, but they're not the priority here. There's a missile pod I'll get to later. And that'll lead to a fairly big divergence in the third main area as well. We're in the second right now. Anyhow, here's my favorite beam in the game. I kid you not. The wave beam has a rather wonky path, but it's fairly powerful, and its piercing ability is second to none. In the late game, this is my beam of choice. But we're not done yet. This way first. Okay. Just to make sure that I don't forget it, let's go back and get this missile pod now. Go down the side. Grab that missile pod. Back up the side of the room. There are wall fires on the left wall. Stick to that wall. And grab the high jump boots. But before leaving, we saw those power-ups that we couldn't reach earlier, so let's not forget those. We got boots power! Rather amusing that the wall fire continues to fire even during the cutscenes. Yeah, they're no Pegasus boots, but they're still nice to have. And in a weird case of out of sight, out of mind, if you just spider ball up your way this wall, the wall fires will never hit you. Will never even fire at you. Now let's make our way back up. Yeah, that about sums it up, really. Grip the wall. Yeah. Those blob throwers are a pain to deal with if you do not have the wave beam. You've got this tiny little target to hit. Well, time to fight the bonus boss. Come on. Yeah, it took him a while for him to get up to the statue, but he eventually got there. We get the spring ball. Yeah. And there's the flinch jump in action. Got it. Yeah, I wasn't gonna leave without that. I said I was gonna 100% the game, darn it. Anyhow, back through here. Alright, save that. Now, let's go hunt. Okay, so I've got 5. Gonna go this way first. Oh, right. This is a Gamma Metroid. Yeah, I'm not trying for the fastest speedrun ever. I'm just trying to get through the game the best I can. Yeah, I forgot exactly where in the room that one was. Yeah, that's one reason that I want to get the wave beam first. Makes dealing with the sand room a lot quicker. Yeah, literally Metroid Central. Okay. Alright, this one... Okay, this area was the empty room psych. That means the other way has the health recharge. Oops. And over here, to approach very carefully because Gamma. And there we go. Got a much needed health recharge. That just leaves one more place. Alright, I still have to go through this part. Oops. Missed my jump. And missed it again. Thankfully, I didn't take that much damage. Okay. I'm pretty sure there's... Yeah, especially when it lets you get an extra jump. Okay. Yep. There's a missile pod here. Don't want to scroll too far down. down a bit, and back up. Realized I was grabbed onto the wrong side and didn't want to chance letting go. I love it when the alpha is nice and cooperative. I want to say that's everything here. Alright, so what? Gonna double check a few things. Unfortunately, there's no missile battery here. But right now, my maximum number of missiles should be 160. If it isn't, then I missed at least one energy pod, missile pod somewhere. Anyhow, on to the third area. Nothing that way. And there we have the what I consider to be the most annoying enemy of the game, Housing. Their erratic movement pattern, and the fact that they've got hard shells on both sides, makes them a pain to deal with. Okay, first order of business, go to the top so that I can grab the power-ups from there. There are a couple of reasons that I do so. Hi there. Alright. Whoa. Wasn't expecting another Yume there. Just trying to get past them best I can. Okay, quick check. 170. Must have forgotten about a missile pack that I picked up somewhere. But, hey, good to know that I'm on target. Alright, go down here. One thing that this game did really well, it gave you a lot of mobility items. Oh yeah. Gotta love the space jump. It's a little janky compared to how it's implemented in later games, but it works well enough. I'd make a joke about Samus being able to go to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism, but she's a bounty hunter. Anyhow, making use of the space jump straight up. We'll be seeing more of that shortly. I'm gonna skip over that for now. And take care of this side area first. And go to the bottom. She came from outer space. Okay. Rather than dealing with those proboscums, more than I have to anyway. Alright. Proof of ethical consumption under capitalism. The pages are all blank. And there we go. Grabbed another energy tank and another missile pod. Okay. Now that I'm done with that, let's just do a straightforward space jump straight up and out. It is a lot easier to simply space jump straight up than it is to have to control the back and forth motion. Anyhow, save point. And collect the Spazer Beam. This is probably not going to get nearly as much airtime as it did on Roam's channel, but I'm gonna try and give it at least some. Also, notice the far more satisfying sound effect when you fire the thing. Yeah, Visual Boy Advance has some problems emulating the sound of the Spazer Beam, as well as the Ice Beam and the Plasma Beam, in fact. Get down here. Yeah, let's face it. Who wants to have to try and fight that Gamma Metroid on those tiny platforms? Oops. I scrolled the bomb off screen. Grab that missile pod. Yeah, I'm gonna go right first. Don't worry, I'll be going left soon enough. Yet another good place to do the space jump straight up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure those automs just do that flamethrower thing whenever the heck they feel like it. Roam wondered if there was a pattern. I don't think there is. Anyhow. Definitely don't want to forget this. Four tanks down, 2 to go. Yeah, you gotta admit that sound effect is very satisfying. Fall down. $206. I'm pretty sure that's the technique that Roland Mithril was advocating using against that Gamma Metroid. And it works pretty well. And that's the reason that I did not go left first. I wanted to get some use out of the spazer before switching to the plasma beam. Once again, you'll notice that the sound effect is a bit different from ROM's playthrough. Which is one more reason that I chose BGB over VBA for this playthrough. We seem to have a Chocobo in the chat. Yeah, earlier in the playthrough, I had a quick primer on some of the quirks of Metroid 2. Like, how the heck did I get Samus to jump even though she wasn't in a spin? Well, oddly enough, if she takes damage and flinches, that actually results in her being able to do a single jump out of the damage flinch. It's a weird little quirk of the game. Oops. Did not mean to drop past that. But now, let's go into this side area and start hunting some Metroids. Alright. Now I forget exactly how this area goes. Let me pull up a map quick. Okay, there's where I am now. Okay. Go down and go right as soon as I can. It's not nearly that late where I am. It didn't get nearly as hot here, but did get into the 80s at least. Okay, I want to say... Alright. Next stop up here. Alright. Drop through here. Okay. Arguably the hardest Gamma to fight in the game right there. Alright. I've always felt like that room was always a bit pointless. There's nothing there. Yeah, that was a bit of an awkward battlefield. Thankfully, you get a health recharge. Double check my map. Okay, I did not miss anything. And the path from here is kind of straightforward. Go up, left, and so on. So, yeah, thanks to Roam for cluing me into how to deal with this guy. I didn't realize that my missiles would go through that way. Come on. Well, I did at least manage to get in a free hit. Yeah, I gave Roam quite a few hints on how to go through this game, but he's shown me a few tricks as well. And there's the other reason that I chose to do the Metroid second in that area. That magic exit basically leads you right where you need to go. Yeah, I actually clued him into several things, actually. Like the, how to kill the queen by bombing her stomach. The fact that you can go through that one late passage through the dangerous liquid, but you can't go any further because they actually put a spike wall there. I tried to tell him about the spin jump straight up trick, but he never quite got it. You can hear him mention something about it in that year's outtakes, but he didn't seem to get exactly what he was supposed to be doing there. Well, if nothing else, I'm refilling health nicely enough. And over here. Not sure what you mean by that. And I have to say that if it's what it sounds like, I'm probably the wrong person to give an answer. I need to be a bit more careful. So, back upstairs. Thankfully, this next mini area does have a missile refill, because I noticed that I'm starting to run a bit low. Well, given that the speedrun community refers to stuff like half pixels and such, I wasn't sure how serious it actually was. Though I suspect that's the joke. Okay. And this area is full of housings. Okay, gonna go left first. There we go. Okay, note to self. Metroid is this way. Alright. Dealt with that. Now let's go up. And bonk my head into some housings on the way. Hello, Moto. And now we have the Yoku Flits. And that one is especially tricky because it's so near the ceiling. Okay, so I have 210. Let's do a quick FAQ check. Okay. Aim to our randomizer would be interesting. I was double checking to make sure that I had everything up to this point, and it looks like I do. So let's get wake up. Let's get going to the final large area of the game that is not the Omega Zone. It's very easy to bump into these housings because of their erratic movement patterns, and they're difficult to get rid of because of the shells on the side. Yeah, I am not a fan of the housings. Alright. Next area. Oops. Thankfully, glowflies are a lot easier to spot with this color palette. Yeah, that last screek just pops through the floor. There we go. Get those blocks out of the way. Yeah, I'll be glad to get back to the get to the Hall of Many Beams so that I can switch away from the plasma beam. I mean, it's nice and powerful, but you really have to have good aim. And it won't go through shells. Alright. Okay. Drop through here. Snag that missile pod. That brings us up to 220 max. And just proof of concept once again, you can just run straight through those. As long as you don't try and go through those vertically, you won't get hurt. Okay, one moment while I consult my map again. Yeah, you know what? Let's just go through this more or less sequentially. Hold off on the Hall of Many Beams for now. Now let's see if let's see if I've learned anything from Rowan's playthrough. Wasn't expecting the to attack quite so quickly. Yeah, that wasn't the best. That wasn't as good as it could have gone, but it went okay. Alright. I believe that is the room that we just came from. Okay, good. This is the place that I wanted to go. Hall of Many Beams. Okay, is this what I was after? Yes. Yeah, I wasn't kidding when I said the wave beam was my favorite. It's not as powerful as the plasma beam, but it does well enough, and it'll give me some options against the enemies with shells. Anyhow. done with the Hall of Many Beams, and so let's go down here. Through the spiked corridor from hell. One of 4 in this part of the map. We've already seen the first one. This is the second. This is a gamma. No real terrain to use to our advantage here, but it worked well enough. Alright. Double check my map again. Ah. Okay. Let's do this first. Series of 3 ledges. Oh. And I was too close to the bomb. There we go. Got a missile pod. And an energy tank. Now if I really wanted to, I could scroll over to the right, but that wouldn't exactly put me where I want to go next. So let's go back the way we came. Okay. Grab myself onto the wall there. There we go. That's where I wanted to land. Another missile pod. I believe that leaves just one left. And collected the last of the energy tanks on the way up. Yeah, you didn't think I was going to forget this area. Oop. Yeah, this is going to be a rather tricky battle. That went better than the other one, marginally. And there we get the screw attack, which I believe is the last unique power-up in this game. Still got one more missile pod, but I know exactly where that is. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I wanted to get a grip on this side because I believe there's one side path over here. Double check the map just to make sure. Yep, there is. Two left. Oh yes. I forgot momentarily about the actual most annoying Gamma in the game. There's also one last Zeta to take care of, but assuming I can get Roland's strategy to work, it's probably the easiest one to deal with. Excuse me, I just needed a drink there. Wait for the pincher fly to get out of the way. Yeah, not going to face that just yet. Let's take care of this first. And that should be all of the missile pods in the game. Thankfully, that strategy right there seems to work. Let's take advantage of that recharge. Oop. Oops. And one last spike corridor from hell. Alright. Let's see if I can get this to work. Why, yes. Yes, I can. Now it's going to be a bit before we get another save point, so let's go ahead and save our game now. Once again, brambles don't hurt if you go through them horizontally. Here's hoping I can pick up some missiles on the way. I'm running a bit low. Let's try this way. Or not. Well, thankfully, Scorp can drop missiles. Well, given what I'm gonna have to face in the not-too-distant future, 107 really isn't that much. That's right. Four of them. Yeah, I remember that I was the one that let Roam know that if you shoot an Omega in the back, it counts as triple damage. At least I'm not lacking in health. And recharges for health. Well, this part of the fight's easy enough. Assuming, of course, you can get the positioning right, which I didn't. And I ended up wasting a couple of missiles. That's never good. Especially this late in the game. Yeah, the fact is that even if Metroid 2 isn't as well regarded as Metroid 1 was, this game had many quality of life improvements. Like, I mean, just the ability to shoot from a crouch or to shoot down from midair. That was very nice. All right. Ah, dang it. Alright. Managed to take care of that Omega. Got $95 missiles left. Might have to do some missile farming. Let's try and get at least some on the way back down. Because 110 for 3 Omegas. I mean, it's not nothing, but it might not be enough. Welcome to the bottom of the map. Everywhere else we go is higher than this. See, we're going back up toward the surface. Okay. Last area of the game. The Omega Zone. Home of very spooky music. Alright, one moment while I consult the map once again. Okay. Up to the top and then left. Oops. Oops. There we go. Now, the reason that I suspect that the flinch jump might not be simply a glitch is that if you fall between the lava pillars here, there's some spikes, and unless you do the flinch jump technique, they're going to combo you literally to death. Missed my opening shot. Well, that actually went pretty well. Alright. That's the second Omega of the game down. 2 more to go. Oops. Well, I didn't mean to go there. If you really want to, you can go down there with a full health bar and make your way and actually successfully navigate that through the lava, but there's a spike wall at the end that basically means that it's all for naught. Now, if you really want to, you can go all the way up to the top and access a save point that way, but there's not really much point because it's actually fairly out of the way. Okay. Alright, so funnily enough, I had not encountered Remulkin in this game yet. Second verse, much the same as the first. Yeah, I noticed that when you're shooting from behind, only do one missile at a time, because he seems to be invincible while he's flailing about. Whoa there. That went fairly well. That just leaves one more Omega, and I know exactly where it is. It's not far from here. "75 missiles. If that's not enough, then I'm doing something seriously wrong. Okay. Alright. This has some fake water in it, but otherwise it's pretty much the same layout as the previous two. Ow. Turned around on me. That could have gone better, but it also could have gone a lot worse. So that's all of the Omegas taken care of. And as long as I'm careful, this next area shouldn't be too difficult to go through without taking too much damage. The obstacles there are more annoying than actually dangerous. So, with the lava drained away, we can pass through here freely now. No enemies in here. bunch more pools of quicksand or syrup or whatever you want to call it. Just jump over those. Now, if you're not careful, some of these pools of liquid, gooey, sticky liquid, they have hidden pits in them, and if you fall down them, you will be brought back to a previous room. A demonstration. Yeah, you'll fall straight through it, you can't jump back up. Now, I've seen maps, and apparently the hidden pits are directly in the center of those long pools. Still, unless you're doing a minimalist run, that knowledge isn't necessarily all that useful. It's generally safer just to do a space jump. Okay, last save point. And as we see, I did successfully get all 250 missiles that can be gotten in the game. That means 22 missile pods. I also got all 6 of the energy tanks. Yeah, this last area, as long as you go right to left at the top, you'll get everything you need. Fully recharged health and missiles. And the ice beam, which you'll need for this last area. Needed a quick drink there. Alright. Now that we've charged up and got the correct weapon, time for the last section of the game. And our Metroid counter goes crazy and goes from 1 to 9. You know what this means. Time to shoot some Metroids. The larval variety in this case. 2 down. Thankfully, they're not too difficult to deal with. Oops. No, we won't be shooting the baby Metroid. That, we'll be encountering the baby Metroid later. Alright. That one looks scary, but it's actually fairly easy to deal with. The real difficult one to deal with is later in this room. Come on. I have had that one latch on to me more than I care to admit. Now, in this game, I don't know if bombing them off actually works, but the fact is, you can go from one room to the next fairly easily, and that is how you get rid of... And that's the method that I've used to get rid of them. If you're not sure whether or not the freezing effect will wear off, you can just freeze them again. That's another quality of life improvement from the first Metroid game. The ice beam no longer alternates between frozen and unfrozen. Come on, Queenie. Open your mouth. Ah, dang it. I'm doing this wrong. There we go. Stomach successfully bombed. Keep doing that. Oops. And come on. That's got it. Yeah, you do take a bit of damage in her stomach doing it that way, but not as much as you would think. That drain is actually fairly slow. Most of the damage that I took in that fight was a result of me getting hit by her lunges. Anyhow, time for the ending sequence of the game. Unlike the first game and unlike later games, this game has no escape sequence. At least, no timed escape sequence. The conclusion of the game, just get back to your ship with the baby. And indeed, you can't get through here without the baby because the baby is consuming those crystals, which, according to some sources, are supposed to be crystallized X-parasites. Thankfully, the baby is not harmful to us because it's actually imprinted on us upon hatching. Even if we wanted to, we couldn't hurt it. Just as well, really. Let's see if I can... how well I can stick the landing. Oh, only a little off. Yep, and there we go. That should give us the best ending here. So yeah, that was Metroid 2 Return of Samus. It was my first exposure to the Metroid series, and as such, it's still a favorite of mine. It's not my top game in the series, but it's still it's still one that I've enjoyed. It's a bit more linear and less exploratory than other games in the series, but for what it is, it's actually a very good game. Yeah, I'd like to give some shout out to Roam Mithril, who's showed me a few things about the game that I didn't know, including better techniques on how to deal with the Zeta Metroids, especially the third one that I went after. Also a shout out to Zarek, whose maps were very helpful to me. Also, a shout out to those who have written guides on GameFAQs, because without them, I wouldn't have figured out how to deal with Arachnus. And because of them, I wrote my own guide on GameFAQs. 204. Not my fastest time through this game, but still fairly respectable, and it gets us the best ending. So anyhow, that's going to be the end of the stream. I'd say this run went fairly well, and I definitely enjoyed it. So thanks for watching, and hope to see you again next time. Until then, take care.